Hey folks, in this video I'm going to take you through how to model up the doorstop 1 option. So this is the one that has the hole drilled into the top. So looking at this PDF, it'll give us all of the dimensions we're going to need. So let's head into Fusion and start by making sure we've got a blank file open. Let's save that, navigate to your relevant folder and save it there. So I'm going to save it in the practice folder here and I'm going to call it doorstop 1. And make sure that you hit save down the bottom here. Okay, so we're going to start by creating a component. So create new component. We're going to call it doorstop. Now remembering that we create components so that when we get to assembling things later down the line, we need things to be components. So it's just a good habit to get into right now. So, okay, now just double checking that your doorstop component is active, okay, by clicking that black dot next to it. You shouldn't have to do that, it should automatically do it, but if it's not, that's how you do that. Okay, so looking at our drawing here, we can start by drawing the basic rectangle, looking at it from the top view. So we know that it is 45 millimeters wide and 180 long from edge to edge. So I'm going to start by drawing that as a rectangle. So start a sketch on the top plane, so looking down on the top. So our view cube should say top. We're going to grab the rectangle tool, start at the origin and hover to the top right. Now at the moment it's asking me to add in the width, so I'm going to type in 45 for the width and then press tab to head down to change the length. Yours may have started asking you to put the length in first, in which case you would type 180 and then press tab to go and do the width. Either order does not matter as long as each of those numbers is what we need them to be. So press tab to move between them, okay, and then enter. I'm just going to recenter on my page by panning across using the wheel on my mouse, and that is my basic shape drawn. Now, the next thing I need to do is add this arc on the end so that when we extrude it up, we're not just extruding a rectangle. There are a couple of ways you could do it. You could draw the arc in as we're going to do. You could extrude the rectangle up and then put a fillet on the edge. We're just going to do it in this view right now while we're here. So we're going to go create. We're going to go point and we're just going to select anywhere along the top edge, okay? So not right on the corner, just somewhere close to the right edge along that top line. So you can see that blue cross is telling me that I'm in line with that line. I'm crossing over it with it, I'm intersecting. So let's just click anywhere to put that point. Okay, I need to make sure that that point is 22.5 millimeters away from the edge because the radius of this arc is 22.5. So I'm going to create and choose my dimension tool or hit D on your keyboard. I'm going to first select the point that I put in and then the top right hand corner, so those 2 points, I am specifying a distance between them of 22.5 and that'll move the point over so that it's 22.5 away from the edge. Okay, now we can go to create, arc and choose 3-point arc. We're going to choose that point up the top. We're going to hover in a straight line, straight down. Make sure you can see that blue dashed line showing you that you're hovering directly down until you hit the bottom line and you get your intersection mark. Click there. Then we hover out along the right-hand edge until we see the little blue triangle pop up, which tells us that we're in line with the midpoint. Once you've done that, click again, and that is the arc shape done. So because we put in this dimension initially, we know that this radius is 22.5. If you want to check it, if you press D for dimension and select the arc. Why is that not selecting for me? Sorry. There we go. Select the arc, you can see that the radius is 22.5, which is exactly what we want it to be. Now, there is an extra step you can go here. I think it's just a good tool to know about. When we extrude it, we don't need these little bits on the end. So we can go and choose the trim tool and trim away that part of the line that we don't need. So just clicking on all of those unnecessary lines. You'll see that it's gotten rid of the point, but that's not really a big deal. We've got the arc drawn in now. You don't have to trim those lines away. I just wanted to show you that because it's super handy at other times. So let's finish sketch there. Let's look at your work in 3D by going to the little house icon. And we can see that in 3-dimensional view. We're going to extrude this now. Before we do, let's just hit save so we don't lose that work we've done so far. And I'm just going to double check the height we're extruding to. So we're going to extrude up to 35. Okay, so you can either hit E on your keyboard or choose the extrude tool over here. It should automatically detect your shape. If it doesn't, just click it so it's highlighted blue. And we're going to change our distance to 35 and enter. All right, 2 more things we need to do with this, which is to add the angle and the hole in the top. Let's do the angle first. Actually, let's do the hole first. So our hole has a radius of 20 millimeters. It's going to be centered along the center of this arc. So let's start a sketch on top of this doorstop. Let's do something called project geometry. So we're going to project the outline that we've already drawn. So press P on your keyboard and select all of the outer edges like that. Don't select the top. If you have, just click it again to deselect it. But we just want to select those 3 lines. So top, curve, bottom, and OK. You're going to see that it will automatically put in a center point here for us. So what we're going to do now is grab a circle. We're going to select that purple center point. We're going to hover out and type in 20 and enter. Okay, so that's in the right location and the right diameter now. So we're going to finish sketch and look at it in 3D again. We're going to hit extrude, E or the extrude button. Select just the circle that you've drawn, not the outline, just the circle. And then we're going to set our operation to cut. So instead of new body, we click on that and select cut. And then we're going to change our distance to -35 and OK. And we now have a hole in the top. All right, let's save again. Last thing we need to do is add the angle. So looking at the drawing, the angle goes all the way to the edge and it's set up 4 millimeters from the front edge. So starting a sketch on the side of our drawing this time, just center it on your page. I'm going to press P for project geometry again. And I'm going to outline the top edge the whole way along, the left-hand edge, and the bottom edge. And OK. I'm then going to create a point anywhere along, oh, did I click it? Yes. Anywhere along the left-hand edge. Okay, so we don't want it to be on the midpoint or on the very top or bottom, just somewhere randomly along the edge there. We're then going to hit D for dimension. We're going to select the point we just put in and then the bottom corner, hover out to the side and change that to 4 millimeters. Okay, so we're now going to add a line from the very edge in the top right-hand corner to that point we just put in. So line from the top right-hand corner to the 4 millimeter point and finish sketch. Let's look at it in 3D again. Now we're going to choose extrude again. We're going to select that angled area up the top. Now be careful, it is split up into 2 sections, so make sure you select both of them. And then we're going to change our operation again to cut. We're going to change our distance to -45, and that's going to cut the whole way along the top. And that is now a finished doorstop. The last thing we can do is make it look like timber, so let's just save it and OK. Type in A for appearance. You're going to head to your material library. You're going to, I've got plastic open. You're just going to scroll down all of those categories until you find wood solid. You're going to go to finished, and then you're going to find pine in the list. Now, I think I've already downloaded it, but anyway, wherever you find it, you're going to have to click the little arrow to download it. Once it's downloaded, you can grab it and drag it onto your material, onto your object to add the material to it. And close, and that is now finished. And save it. Great work.